Now, I did not expect to be making an Evil Dead the Game video this morning, but here we are. It's usually how it happens with Evil Dead news. It kind of pops up, and then we talk about it, and then, unfortunately, with the state of the game, we kind of forget that it's there unless I feel like playing it. But let's talk about this report from Licensing International. As you can see here, Evil Dead 2, Evil Dead 2013, Ash versus the Evil Dead in Evil Dead Rise. Everything is here except Army of Darkness. And basically the title of the article is StudioCanal signs a worldwide licensing rights agreement with Renaissance Picture to represent the Evil Dead franchise. So all the rights for all the movies, the TV show, are all under one roof for the first time, except Army of Darkness. StudioCanal is thrilled to announce the deal, which confirms they will represent Evil Dead franchise, excluding Army of Darkness, worldwide for licensing rights in all categories. So basically what this says, if you're Evil Dead the game and you want to reboot this game and bring new stuff, you now work with StudioCanal for everything. So basically what this would mean, if they own all the licensing rights, that you would basically work with StudioCanal for every movie, TV show that exists in the Evil Dead universe as of now. That doesn't include Evil Dead Burn, except for Army of Darkness, which you still work with Universal MGM and Dino De Laurentiis. Which apparently that relationship was always really good because we got a ton of Army of Darkness content. StudioCanal has represented Evil Dead for many years now, so they've always been who they talk to for Evil Dead 2 content. So in this case, Boss Team Games would already have some sort of relationship with StudioCanal, and Saber could build stuff off of Evil Dead 2 already. They did. They made Savini skins off of Evil Dead 2 Ash. So I don't think that the relationship was probably bad there. And here's why we know that this is going to include video games. Right here, as you can see, Evil Dead 2 for many years managed a strong licensing program, including publishing, apparel, collectibles, gift, location-based entertainment, and video games. This is who they worked with when they got Evil Dead 2 into Evil Dead the game. And the creative licensing company has been and will continue to work alongside StudioCanal as a sole agent. So what they're saying now is Evil Dead, one of the big problems they had was dealing with all the license holders. So you had to go to one license holder for Evil Dead 1, StudioCanal for Evil Dead 2, MGM Universal for Army of Darkness, Stars for Ash vs. Evil Dead, Sony for Evil Dead 2013, Warner Brothers for Evil Dead Rise. Like, everyone had their hand in, and anytime they tried to make a change to the game or add something to the game, they had to go through all these license holders, which made the process very slow and very hard to deal with. Now that wouldn't really be a problem. Now the pipeline would be like a lot shorter. Instead of going through like 7 different license holders, you would just go to StudioCanal, you would talk to them, you would say, here's what we want to do for Evil Dead Rise, here's what we want to do for Evil Dead 2, here's what I'm going to do for blah blah blah. Do you like it? Yes. Cool. And then you would go and talk to Universal, Dino, MGM, and say, hey, this is what we're adding, are you cool with that? Yes. Done. And that would be it. There would be no more like all this round robin. It would be very easy to get stuff into games. It would also mean that you could probably get a lot more stuff into, if they wanted to expand in Dead by Daylight and not just have what they had with Stars. So I feel like there's a lot of different avenues this could lead to for video games, particularly Evil Dead the game, which I think is near and dear to most of our hearts. Like, I don't play a lot of ASIMs as much as I used to, just because the genre, it has been a lot of flops, a lot of games that have lost their steam. I still play Dead by Daylight here and there. I still play Evil Dead here and there, but like, that's about it. Now, if Evil Dead came back to being an actual live game, you would see it every week on my channel, because I love Evil Dead the game and I still love playing it with my community. But like, it's a dead game right now that's in stasis. It's still alive. You can still play it. They're not shutting off the servers, but with no new content, what is there to grind with other than, oh, I didn't get this character to P5. Oh, well. Now, with this kind of scenario, it would be much easier to reboot getting DLC in, because the process would take very little time to get clearance. If you wanted to focus on anything other than Army of Darkness content, you would just pitch that to StudioCanal now. They would sign off on it, and then you just get additional sign off from MGM Universal saying, hey, this is our next DLC. You cool with whatever we're doing that affects your license? And it could work really, really well. Like, this could lead to a much, much simpler and much, much easier to work with situation. They never took the game offline, so there's always hope. And I've heard rumors of stuff that could be occurring in 2025. So paired with this could lead to Evil Dead the game being back and running. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you think about it. I'm going to include the link to this article in the description. So if you don't believe me that this is real, you can go there yourself. As always, thanks for watching, and later, mates.